Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today is another Topic Tuesday topic. This one is my favorite spring nail art, and I've interpreted this as my favorite spring nail art that I have done. So I've only been doing nail art for a couple of years, and spring is probably, well, I was going to say my weakest season for nail art. It might actually be winter, although I've done some pretty good winter looks. Regardless, spring is not my most prolific time for nail art. It's a lot of repetitive florals and Easter themes, but I do think there's some pretty ones that I'm willing to show off. First mani I want to share with you is actually a recreation mani that I did based on someone else's manicure, and it's using the Holo Taco pastel rainbows and some pretty pastel cremes with stamping on them. And I just think this is a really fun look. Like, it's really simple in that half the nail is hollow and the other half is stamped, and it's a beautiful skittle. It's very spring-like. You could make it into an Easter mani pretty easily. You could, interpret these as eggs if you wanted to, but it's just a nice way to show off a bunch of different pastels. It's like a double skittle, and I haven't done anything like this since. Maybe we should bring back the double skittle because I really like this. Next is one of a couple of Easter themed spring nail arts, and this one is Easter eggs with a fun French tip. These were really fun to do. I used a white stamping polish and a French tip guide to make the tips, and then I just carefully painted over it in my neon rainbow of skittle colors here, and just did a bunch of different stamping patterns. And they're really cute. They came out really cute. The polka dot stamp didn't go down perfectly. If I were to redo this, I would maybe go over them with a dotting tool just to make sure that they look a little bit better. But honestly, it was an Easter egg mani, and it served its function perfectly fine. I think it's really cute. I'd redo these. Can you tell I really like pastel skittles for spring? This one is little baby animals or farm animals. I don't know. It felt very springy. This stamping plate got a little duck, little sheep, chickens, and I think a baby boar. Not really sure. And yeah, just some sweet stamping over nice pastel colors. It looks great. The last couple looks I've done, I've also used a matte top coat, and I think that also helps with spring manicures to soften them up and make them a little bit more, soft and delicate looking, especially mixed with pastels. I think they look really good with a matte top coat. Next up is a very cute mani that was very difficult to capture in photographs because the middle two nails are actually painted with a thermal that goes from that nice dark purple to that really light pink. And I painted the bunnies, the little fairy bunnies, in a kind of matching dark purple color. So when it was completely in its cold state, when it was all dark purple, you couldn't really see the bunnies, making a peekaboo mani, which I really should do more of because they really are fun to warm up your nails and then see the image come to life, come out of the polish, and it was just really fun. I do like that I managed to capture a little bit of the thermal ombre in this photograph, but the peekaboo effect is really adorable. It can't be spring without cherry blossoms, so this really simple manicure with a green background polish that I put a shimmer topper over and then stamped these pink cherry blossoms on top of. Absolutely wonderful. If I were to do it again, I might stamp the branches in a brown and then fill in the flowers with a kind of lighter pink just to make it look a little bit more realistic. But I also like this cartoony pop of color that you get with this when you stamp with a cream over top of a shimmer. Spring is when the bees start getting busy, so here is a jelly sandwich mani with this really fun gold flake topper, and then I stamped the bees on as the very last layer to give this really three-dimensional effect with the honeycomb, a couple layers down, and using Cirque jelly polishes to get that effect. These look just absolutely delicious. I wish I had a blurring base coat at the time that I made these because the nail line is a little strong, but I don't think it takes away from it, and honestly, I kind of want to redo these right now. They look really cute. Here is another Easter manicure that was so simple and came out absolutely adorable. All I did was take one of my chevron patterned stamps and stamped it on the top and bottom of my nail, filled in the top and bottom with white to make the eggshell, and then a dotting tool and a little brush to kind of pull the orange dot down, and boom, you've got a little chick face. If I were to redo these, I would go in and add a tiny dot of white in the eyes of the chicks just to bring them to life a little bit more. but honestly, they're really adorable. And I think this is a look that you could do on shorter nails and get this and not lose anything. Next spring nail art look is a floral design that I did with a super simple gradient, just this really dark purple to this light magenta pink, and some daisy stamps on top, a little dotting tool to give the yellow center. Easy. Oh, and of course a hollow top coat. My school happened to have some daisies that were freshly planted, which made a perfect backdrop. I'm very proud of this picture. Up next is a nail art look that I actually did in August, but it looks like I did it for spring. It was for a birthday collab for someone who loved purple, so I went with purple kind of vaporwave flowers. It's really cute. I really, really like this manicure. I happened to find a crepe myrtle in my yard, so I just posed with that for fun, and I just think it's adorable. And I think it would be a perfect springtime mani, even though I did it in August. Next is another cherry blossom manicure, just to show that even though it's for spring, it doesn't have to be all pastels. You could still use neon punchy colors and still have spring vibes. Like you see here, I used a loud lacquer topper. I believe that's the Kelly Marissa collab one, and then the cherry blossoms in the middle. And this time I did go for a little bit more realism with the brown stem, but that solid background really helps it pop. And it does look a little bit like the Arizona tea bottle, like kinda, it's the wrong color, but I love them. I absolutely love these nails, and that fun topper looks great as cherry blossoms. Here are my favorite Easter nails that I have ever done, and I don't think I'll ever do any better than this. These are based off of a Easter card my aunt sent me once that had this exact, joke, and it was, I don't know, it was the funniest thing. Let me know in the comments, are you a person who eats a chocolate Easter bunny from the ears or from the butt? I'm usually an ear person, but all I did was take the same stamp and reverse it and just use a little piece of Scotch tape to bite off the butt of one bunny and the ears of the other, and then I painstakingly stamped each letter individually in their little speech bubbles. But honestly, I feel like I got the placement, the colors, everything looks really great in this man. I'm very proud of this manicure, and it's so funny and cute. I'm never gonna do better than this. This is it. This is my best Easter work. Speaking of my best work, these are probably my favorite nails that I've ever done, at least in the top 5. I redid them several times. I was really trying to get it perfect. They're Van Gogh's Sunflowers. You can actually kind of see Van Gogh on my thumb there just a little bit. I just love this mani. I did a nice pale blue. I believe this was using an Orly ColourPass, the spring collection that had just come out. So I used a pale blue in the background, and then did a stamping of like this thatched pattern just to give the background a little interest. And then most of it is done with these 2 tones of yellow on the sunflowers, and I just adore this one. In my final look, I actually did include a green, so on the sunflower stems, but I actually kind of like the monochromatic, just 2 tones of yellow on the sunflowers. But let me know what you think. I adore these nails, and again, I don't know if I'll ever do any better than this. This is really peak spring manicure in my opinion. So those were some of my favorite spring nail art that I've done over the past couple of years. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, and what do you like to do for spring? Do you like to keep it soft and pastel, or do you like to go loud and bold, or maybe you like to be dark and moody through spring? What do you wear for spring, or do you wear anything for spring, or do you just ignore what season it is? I'd love to know, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!